Hello, computer scientist. We have finished up making our background for our applications, and we are now getting ready to make our sprites, our characters, if you will, that we're going to be using in our application. This is going to be quite a long video. I may take a couple shots to get this all complete, so stay tuned with me, but it's a lot more detail than just making our background images that we took with our camera, so bear with me. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you guys. I had that background, and now I'm going to go to my sprite, and as you can see, I decided to use a pumpkin as a sprite for my project, and so I'm going to ask you guys to rename your sprite, because actually you're going to have a couple more sprites as well, and you want to rename those so you know what you're working with in what folder. So again, this is my pumpkin sprite, so make sure you rename that. This is the raw image. This is what I found off of Pexel, PEXELS.com. Again, I gave you that resource in Schoology, and this is the image, and I want to use this pumpkin right here. All right, so again, never get rid of your raw image. You're going to keep that in your raw folder. Let me go back up here, and in GIMP, this is my editing that is complete. As you can see, we added an alpha channel to this, so we're going to be actually exporting this as a PNG that allows us to add those 8 more bits of data for the alpha channel. So that's what it looks like in GIMP. Let me go ahead and close that. And this is going to be our final output. This is when we export the image so we can use it in other programs, such as, in this case, MIT App Inventor. This is my original size that I exported, and you can see the dimensions of it. Again, if you don't have all of these options, don't forget, right-click, and you can go and get these. If you don't have bit depth, for example, you can go and find that in this location here. So we've got our dimensions, we got our size in kilobytes here, and we have our bit depth. Again, I know we've been working with our JPEGs, now we're working with PNGs. The PNGs add those 8 more bits of data, 1 more byte, giving us 8 additional. So we got 8 for our red, 8 for our green, 8 for our blue, and now 8 for our alpha. So we brought up to our 32 bits. All right, so let's take a look at these pictures. So this again, I have taken that pumpkin, and I have getting rid of I took out the other 4, and this is what I have here. This is at its full resolution. All right, now if I go here, look in my upper left hand corner, you can see that I had it 75 pixels. All right, if I go up here at 100 pixels, here at 150. Now, again, think of your phones, think of your tablets. You don't need those images in their full size right here. This is a big file. If I were to put this on my tablet, yes, I could shrink it down, but the file size is still going to be large, meaning possibly some longer download times for your users to get your app, maybe some lag in your game or something. So you want to edit those. And as you can see, if I brought this down to 75 pics, I only have 11 kilobytes of data now. My 100 is at 19 and my 150 is at 40. So again, I really think I could use this size in my app from what I'm going to use. So anyway, that's what we're going to be working on, you guys. So I'm going to close this. Now, I have a 4th hour folder. I have a 4th hour and a 5th hour class that's working on this, you guys. So I'm going to use my 4th hour. And this background is a little bit different than my fall colors. This background, I have a little desert scene here with Starry Night. I added some text to it, as we saw in our previous tutorials. And I am going to find a moon to put on here. That's going to be one of my sprites, is a moon. So what I'm going to do is go back to my sprite, and right away I know I want to get a moon. Well, I think I do. So I'm going to go over to my free website that I can use these images, and I'm searching for a moon. And I look through here, and this is the moon that I want. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this image, and I'm going to choose free download. Now, I know when you guys choose free download, it may come up with, hey, you need to sign up for Pexel, you need to create an account. That's going to be up to you, or you can probably choose a lower resolution. Now, they may even ask you if you're a robot, and they may ask you to click on a few screens. Work through that and get to, again, the actual image in the biggest resolution that you can. I'm now going to right click on this image and choose Save Image As, and I'm going to navigate to my desktop. I'm going to navigate to my 4th hour see-through project, and this is going to be my Sprite, and I'm going to put this in my raw data here. So this is my raw image, and I'm just going to rename this, you guys, Moon. Again, please rename your images. The file format's JPEG. Perfect. Go ahead and choose OK. I'm going to go ahead now and move that off to the side, and since I do know that it definitely is a moon now, I clicked, paused, and clicked, and now I can rename this. You guys obviously know that you can right click on that as well and choose rename, but this is going to be my moon sprite. If I open this up, go to my raw data, there is my moon image. Perfect. All right, so now I'm going to open up my GIMP program here. Let's go ahead and get this loaded up. And I'm going to move this over to the side, and I'm going to simply drag my moon into this location there. Perfect. So I can go ahead and move this over to the side right now. Now right away, I'm going to do a File, Save As. And I'm going to save this in my Moon Sprite, not my raw folder, but my GIMP. This is going to be a GIMP file. I see the .xcf. Those are the native extensions for GIMP, and I'm going to choose Save. So I'm going to double check to make sure that went in the right folder. This is my raw folder, GIMP. Yes, there it is. There's my GIMP folder. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and move that off to the side. Now, you guys, this is where we're going to do some editing. So I'm going to open up some windows. If yours are not there, you definitely need your toolbox. And so if you click on toolbox and it didn't come up, sometimes you maybe have to move this, look behind that. You guys have multiple monitors, maybe look behind, look at other monitors and stuff, but eventually find your toolbox and you can readjust that if you wish, or do whatever you want to do with those. So there's my toolbox. I'm also going to need my tool options. I'm going to need this eventually as well, and so we're going to bring that tool options up right there. All right, so here we are, you guys. We're going to concentrate on this moon. So I am holding my I'm going to click here, and I'm going to hold my shift key down, and I am moving on in on this guy, and again I'm using my mouse to increase the size of this. And the first things first is I'm going to use my crop tool. And I'm going to get rid of things that I don't need. So I'm going to kind of come up over here. And at this time, you can't draw circles with your crop tool. So you're just going to draw a circle, or a square, excuse me, around your circle. Because that's the first project we're working on, is something in a circle format. And now I'm just going to press my Enter key. And there we go. All right, so I got rid of all that other stuff. I'm going to do a Control S on my keyboard. That saves it. I've already done a Save As, so I did a Control S to save that update there. And now, you guys, what I want to do is I want to get rid of this blue area. Now, I will tell you this. I'm going to utilize this tool right here, and this is the Select by Color tool, and it selects the regions with similar colors. I can also use a shortcut key called Shift 0. I'm going to try my Shift 0, and that actually activates it now. I can tell it's activated because it has that blue hue behind it. All right, and I have that tool activated, and now what I like to do, you guys, is hold my shift key down on my keyboard, and I'm going to click, and I'm just going to start clicking on the blue. All right, and I'm going to try to get rid of as much blue as I can, all right, and without getting anything in the moon. If you happen to get something in the moon color, you don't want to do that. You don't want to get anything inside of your circle. Click back out side of it, or excuse me, Control Z on your keyboard, and now I've got to do it twice because I clicked on something. Control Z, I now hold my shift key down. Now, if you happen to have get lucky and have everything selected outside of this moon, you are lucky. A lot of us are going to maybe I'm going to do a Control Z here, undo a little bit, to where you can't get everything without something inside of your round circle to be selected. If that's your case, I'm going to show you guys in a second, in a little bit, what we need to do. We need to do a little bit more editing, so stay tuned. But for mine, you guys, I got pretty lucky. Again, I'll come back to that in a little bit. I have my circle here. I'm going to press my Delete key on my keyboard. Delete. All right, I've got a little bit more over here. I'm going to hold my Shift key down, And now, as you see, I am actually getting into this location here. I'm going to do an undo and go back to this. I didn't see that I had this here, so I'm going to use my shift key and get that color as well. Press my delete key again, and now I can see that I don't have things selected around the outside of my actual moon. With that, right away, I'm going to do a Control S. Save up what I've got. I'm going to change my alpha here, color to alpha. I'm going to bring that channel in, and I'm going to choose OK. That then has some transparency around the outside. I'm going to do a Control S to save that up, and now I'm going to do a Select None to get rid of that selection. So there we are. We have this moon ready to go. Now, again, as I mentioned, some of us are not going to be this lucky. So I'm going to show us what we need to do there. So what we need to do is, as I'm going to go ahead and close this. Actually, I'm going to pause my video, you guys, and I'll be right back. I'm going to get ready to present that. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I've got a new image here, and I'm just going to do a real quick file save as here, you guys, and I'm going to put this in my GIMP file here, and I'm going to call this Moon Part 2. Again, that's just for me. You guys don't do this. You have your moon in here. You're fine. I'm just doing this because, again, I'm showing what if you weren't so lucky with choosing your color. So again, I have my selection tool here, and I'm holding my shift key down right now. If I let go of my shift key, the plus goes away. Take a look at where my mouse is right here. I hold shift. You see the plus. You want that activated. I start clicking on the blue, and I'm moving around trying to get rid of some of these things, and I click into here, but it actually gets things in the moon. I'm going to undo that. So maybe this is where as much as you can get. I'm going to press my delete key right now. I'm going to do a Control S and save that. Now I'm going to right away go to my colors. I'm going to go to my color to alpha, and I'm going to choose OK. That then gives me a nice transparent background there. I'm going to choose a Control S. And now we've got to get rid of this other stuff. So I'm going to go to my select option, and I'm going to choose none right now. And I am going to actually scroll in into where I can start to see these pixels. I'm using my control key and my mouse to scroll up, and I need to get rid of these blue pixels around the edges here. So what tool am I going to use? The eraser tool. When I choose the eraser tool over my tool options, I have some options. I have the size of my tool, if you will. So if I scroll over here, look at, if you can see that circle, it is, about that size. If I wanted to make that circle bigger, what I'm doing here is I'm using my mouse and I'm scrolling up, and you can see that it's bigger now. Or I can use the arrows and go down, and as you can see, it's smaller now. Third option, I can highlight that number, and I could put in the number 50, for example, and press my enter key. Oh, that's 500. That thing's huge. You can't even see that. Sorry about that, you guys. Let's try to redo that and go to 50. There we go. And now you can see, so 50 pixels I'm taking out. I'm going to bring that down a little bit, you guys, probably down to about, 20 is fine, kind of where we started. Other things that you want to look at is this right here. These three are probably the ones that you're really going to use for your eraser tool. As you can see, it kind of blurs around the edge. This one doesn't blur as much, and this one is pretty solid to where you're going to get all the pixels. Let me show you a little difference. This, you're getting all those pixels right there. All right, I'm clicking and dragging through that, kind of just getting rid of the blue. Let me change this to this option here. This, I'm going into, if you see that circle, I'm going into my moon a little bit. Again, that's going to get where you have a little bit more flexibility there to get those pixels. I really like to use this option here. It's kind of the mix of the two, and go around this and just simply move around the outside of that and get rid of the blue. So I may have to come over here, drag this over. I'm dragging my scroll bar over there, click, and kind of start moving around. Now, if you would happen to, go into there, Control Z. Now, you will have to start over. What I suggest is lifting your mouse, or you're lifting your finger off your mouse once in a while. I lift my finger off right now, so that way if I go a little bit and go into here, I undid that, I'm not having to undo everything. So I move a little bit, undo this, move a little bit more, and undo this. And at this time, you guys, I'm at about 14 minutes and 40 seconds of my project. I only got 15 minutes. I'm going to pause this right now, and please click on the video below this for part 2.